This video will demonstrate the correct procedures and basic rules that must be followed for everyone to enjoy shooting safely here at Lake City Shooting Range. First and foremost, be mindful of your muzzle direction at all times, especially with your uncased firearms. Touchscreen computer kiosks have been installed for your convenience at registration. Simply scan your driver's license, conservation ID, or you can enter your information manually. Follow the prompts to determine how many will be shooting and what type of shooting you are planning to do. The screen above the kiosk will keep you informed as to your position and wait time. You will be called to the window to pay the small fee and will be assigned a shooting position.
How are you?
You must check in and out at the registration booth. Gun racks are available outside the registration window to hold your uncased firearms as you check in.
Okay, sir, I'll just need $3.
There is a small hourly usage fee that you'll pay up front at the check-in window, and if you stay longer, you will be charged an additional fee when you check out. Remember, hearing and eye protection are mandatory, so be sure to put it on before you go down to the firing line. Rule number 1 is the muzzle must be pointed up when transporting your firearms to the check-in window, rifle pistol range, or shotgun field. When you are inside the booth, they must be pointed downrange at the bullet trap only. You may only handle or transport firearms during a live fire session. You will know when it's a live fire session by the following. A, you hear shooting, and/or it will be announced on the PA. Or B, the numbered booth plates are orange. The Lake City Shooting Range is a state-owned facility, and there are to be no holstered or concealed carry firearms on the premises. Please remember, no rapid fire, 3 to 5 seconds between shots, and no uncasing on the back bench where people sit. Make sure to wear your eye and ear protection while on the line, even if you are just observing. You can locate your assigned booth by the designated numbers in each shooting booth and on the numbered black, orange, and green booth plates to the right or left of the booth. We use the plate system for you to communicate back to us from the range. A black plate indicates an empty booth. Orange is the live fire color, and green is the ceasefire color. When you get to your assigned booth, immediately secure all of your uncased and unloaded handguns and long guns in their respective racks. Take your cased long guns into the booth and uncase them on the table inside your booth, making sure they are pointed downrange at all times. If you have 2 firearms in a double case, remove the firearm that has the muzzle pointed downrange first. Then, close your case, spin it around, and you will have the other muzzle pointed downrange. Set all other gear inside the booth. Each booth has the range rules listed. Please make sure that you read, follow, and understand them. Each booth has a target frame inside the booth. Once inside the booth, pull the target out of the holder and insert your target, and wait for the next ceasefire to be called.
On the rifle range, ceasefire, ceasefire.
When you hear the ceasefire, stop shooting and wait for further instructions.
Ceasefire. Shooters, completely unload your firearms and leave the actions open. When everything in your booth is completely unloaded, step out of your booth. Plates on green, change across.
Be sure to listen to and follow all instructions given by the range officer. Some commands you will hear are:
Ceasefire, ceasefire. Shooters unload all firearms.
Stop shooting immediately and listen for further instructions.
Shooters, completely unload your firearms, leave the actions open.
Completely unload all of your firearms and make sure to remove or empty the magazine and clear the chamber. Open all actions and place all handguns in the handgun rack and long guns in the long gun rack.
When everything in your booth is completely unloaded, place it in the rack, step out. Plates on green, change across.
This tells the range officer that the booth is safe for the ceasefire. Once your plate is on green and the yellow chain is up, do not enter the booth or handle any firearms for any reason. Once you hear this,
All right, on the rifle range, the line is clear, you may proceed downrange.
proceed downrange through the center aisle of the shooting range. The range officer will release everyone to go downrange at the same time. If you need extra pins or targets, you will find them in the center aisle. The shooting distances on the rifle range are at 25, 50, 75, and 100 yards. On the pistol range, the shooting distances are 7, 15, and 25 yards. Each lane downrange is color-coded to the target base, and yardages are marked on the side of the range berm walls. If you are leaving, remember to place your target frame back into the booth in its proper holder once the line has been called hot. Once you have returned to your booth, stay behind the yellow chain and take a seat on the bench to wait for everyone to return from downrange. If you are the last one through the center aisle, please connect the yellow chain behind you. Remember, all shooters and spectators must be wearing eye and ear protection at this time.
On the rifle range, line is clear, you may commence firing.
Once you've been released to go back inside your booth, drop the yellow chain to your booth and continue to shoot, or if you're leaving, you can case your firearms and clean up your booth. All brass can be placed in the orange brass-only buckets located by the spectator benches. Unfired or misfire rounds may also be deposited in the yellow boxes located behind the booths. Pick up all trash, including paper targets and any shotgun hulls, and place them in the trash receptacles at the entrance to the range. Once you've gathered your gear, cased up your firearms, and cleaned your booth, return back to the checkout window to check out with the range staff. All shooters must maintain control of their firearms at all times. Make sure to keep the muzzle of all uncased firearms straight up while transporting them. Thanks for following these rules and staying safe. Enjoy your shooting here at the Lake City Shooting Range.